Greetings, comrades, and hello everyone, I'm Quinn866. Now, I'm going to be talking about my childhood today, so... meh. If you're wondering why I'm talking about my childhood, well, that's mainly because I'm a very nostalgic-based or run person, and I kind of feel like getting this off my chest because I kind of see everyone talking about this, but not from the way I see it. Like, honestly, they can't see it because they're not me, but they don't think about it the way I think about it. So, yeah, I'm going to be talking about bleh. Let me try that again. I'm going to be talking about a very nostalgic kids cartoon for me. And yes, like a lot of people, I kind of can admit it's hard to tell people that I liked it, but to be honest, guys, Tohmas the Tank Engine, if you grew up with it, it's fine. I mean, sure, nowadays, it doesn't hold up as well as other kids' cartoons. I mean, I'd honestly watch Teen Titans Go over, you know, Tohmas the Tank Engine, because that actually was funny. But one thing I can commend Tohmas the Tank Engine for was some of the scares it gave me. Now, if you're possibly wondering, what? How could that be possible? You're scared of a train? No! But not in that sense. I'm not scared of trains with faces. I mean, would you be scared if a train came and you were tied to the tracks? Think about it that way. Think about it.
Think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
Anyways, even though I never really was scared of being tied to the tracks, some of the stories and concepts portrayed in Tohmas the Tank Engine were very dark in some cases, and one of my prime examples is in the episode Duncan Gets Spooked. And yes, like a lot of people, I owned a lot of VHSs as a kid. Hardy har har, Quint, why do you have to be so childish? Well, guys, I'll be very frank with you. The reason why I'm being so childly nostalgic right now is because I'm 17 and I want to do this while I'm still a minor. Okay? Okay? Okay, anyways. So I'm going to be talking about my 5 most spookiest Tohmas the Tank Engine moments. One of them I've already mentioned, so I'll make that one number 5, obviously. But if you're wondering, why Tohmas the Tank Engine? Why not talk about, like, Winnie the Pooh or, you know, something else that's a little more well-known and liked? Well, to be frank, guys, Winnie the Pooh, while I loved it as a kid, definitely a lot more than Tohmas, I can safely say that I just feel like, you know, I need to kind of get this off my chest. So, without time to waste, let's haste. On tracks. Train tracks. Ha 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 ha. Okay, that wasn't funny. Duncan Gets Spooked. One of my few childhood episodes gone wrong. I'm obviously not scared of it now, of course. I mean, there are a couple parts that make me uneasy, but it's not really a scary uneasy, more just a cringe uneasy. Anyways, Duncan Gets Spooked has a ghost story, which Duncan was at first being all like, yeah, I'm the best engine, I do my job the best, and you guys aren't gonna beat me. So Rusty, one of the other engines, decided to tell him a ghost story to try and spook him. Of course, he's all like, rubbish, I don't need that. But then when he goes into details about the ghost story, which was there was a train, one day, moving along the rails on this bridge, making its way home. But it falls off the bridge and dies. I'm shocked trains have lives, Rusty. I'm shocked you even noticed that. Anyways, then he says that every night the moon gets near the bridge, you can see the ghost engine chugging along and still trying to make its way home, but it never will. So Duncan naturally goes across the bridge, and of course, because he was dared, gets a bit scared at first, but he has to do it or else he's gonna be a wimp. Anyways, before Duncan goes out to the bridge, a couple other engines conspire against Duncan to spook him so he doesn't, act so immature, or at least braggy and boasty. But Duncan, being the smart one he is, would notice if there's any other engines around. So they decided to set up a little trap, which was this. He sees some fireflies that make a shape into an engine, which wasn't obviously set up, but then his conductor and fireman throw a rock into the river and spook him, making him think that the ghost engine is nearby. And of course, I pity Duncan because, sure, it is pretty satisfying to get proper justice, but this is not the way. Honestly, you could have just told that top some hat guy and he would have told him off. Seriously though, he would have, right? Anyways, Duncan getting spooked scared the crud out of me as a kid. Can't help but feel bad for Duncan sometimes. Now, okay, this might be a bit of another questionable one. Honestly, Duncan gets spooked, at least that was, intended to be kinda spooky. This one, however, was never meant to be spooky, and I don't know why it scared me, but I've come up with the best explanation after scripting this. And you know what? I think it's pretty solid. So, without time to... Oh wait, I already said that. Right then let's just get onto it. So Toby is the little brown car, the trolley I guess, and Mavis is the black diesel. So basically, the two are, fighting, because, one of them was jealous that one could pull freight, the other one couldn't. And basically, Mavis gets mad, and Toby tries, to stay calm, and tries, to say, hey, this isn't the answer. He tries to be the neutralist. But then, Mavis, is given a chance to pull freight cars, and the freight cars conspire against Mavis, and now Mavis can't move because, the freight cars conspired against them and held her back. Because, that's what freight cars do. They pull the train engine and the engine doesn't pull them. How is that physics, Tohmas the Tank Engine? Seriously now? But what really scared me was the fact that I kind of liked Mavis as a character. Sure, she is one of the only female engines, but she interested me because she was one of the few, if not only, female diesels. And I liked her design, too. However, if I can be very frank with you guys, it wasn't that what scared me. What really scared me was the fact that the fight that took between Mavis and Toby. Because you know what scares me more than ghosts? People fighting. I know, it sounds stupid, but guys, what's more likely, to see an argument happen between two good friends and you have to break it up, or you have to choose a side, or seeing a ghost? Honestly guys, which one of those sounds a bit more likely? I do believe in ghosts, to be fair, in a sense, but that does not mean that, in all retrospect, it's likely to see one. So, as I was saying, it was the fight and argument that made this really hard for me, was because I didn't like conflict. Yes, I know I was a wuss, leave me alone, but it was mainly the fact that all that stuff between, the arguing and my friends having arguments all the time, which I got into quite a lot and tried to break up, but in the end, it turned out okay, but it just kind of got me tense during this episode when I first watched it. Nothing too big, but still makes its way to number 4. So yeah, Mavis and Toby arguing. I know it sounds stupid, but it scared the crud out of me as a kid. And even though Mavis doesn't really get a satisfactory ending, I can safely say that I still think that Toby did the right thing. And Mavis is one of my favorite Tohmas the Tank Engine characters, by the way. Okay, this one's yet another questionable one, if you've seen this episode. But, if I can be brutally honest, guys, This episode, while it is kind of cool to have a snow episode every once in a while, I don't know, guys. I found this episode to be kind of dull. I mean, this episode wasn't really that interesting. I mean, sure, a couple things were interesting, but one thing that always scared me as a kid was this scene with the bridge. And yes, I know it is a bit silly, but it wasn't really the fact that, you know, I was scared for anyone in particular, but it was more the fact that, you know, the tension was set high. Because not only had Toby had to pull these little lambs that needed a vet, you know, to a farm where they need to be raised properly, but it was just the fact that the bridge could have fallen and one of my favorite Tohmas characters could have died at any second. Plus, I love cute, adorable little animals. Most of the time. If they're a Tasmanian devil, count me out. But if it's the Tasmanian devil from Looney Tunes, count me in. Anyways, point being, guys, I honestly feel like this episode was a bit dull, but at least it did have something that did give me a memory off of it, and that was the bridge scene kind of making me tense. Nothing too big, but hey, it still scared the partial crud out of me as a kid. Yeah. Okay, fine. It's not that descriptive, or it doesn't hold that strong, but it's still something, right? I'm trying here, people. Now, I loved this episode as a kid not only because the snow episode was actually good this time, but this one did have a scare in it, specifically one that was not really more or less a ooh, scary scare. It was more like a that's weird, kind of scary. And yes, it was Jack Frost. So, yeah, I'm just gonna play out the scene and let you guys be the judge on this one.
Shadows and strange and scary shapes. Scary Jack Frost, he whispered nervously. Pah! Hello, James? Muttered Percy icily. Scary Jack Frost, cried James.
Wait, I'm sorry, can we hear that one more time?
Scary Jack Frost, cried James.
Wait, one more time.
Scary Jack Frost, cried James.
What? What? Seriously? Okay, guys, even though Percy does look kind of weird there, I can totally be critical and complain that the way he said Scary Jack Frost was, it had no emphasis or emotion in it. And he said Scary Jack Frost, cried James. That sounds nothing like a cry. Wow, cartoon. Wow. No character development. I'm shocked.
Gazed up and shivered. Above stood Boulder. Suddenly, a large slab of rock landed on the rails. Rusty was shocked. Driver was concerned. We'd best leave till the weather's better. The rain loosened some of this rock. I think it's Boulder wanting us to go away.
Okay, now that is the facial expression you or I or anybody would make when we realize a boulder is scarier than anything else I've shown so far. I know, it's weird. Really, really weird. But you'll see why the boulder is so scary and why I think so. Oh my God! What is with that face? Seriously now, people, this is a kid's cartoon, and that face still disturbs me. Yes, you could probably argue, well, a face on a train is no different. Fine, but that looks cartoony. This face looks rather realistic. Scary as crud. Literally. Oh, and it magically disappears too. Thanks, cartoon. Thank you for the magic boulder.
The next day, the sun shone. Thumper was working harder than ever. Suddenly, Rusty noticed something. Boulder's moving. Don't be so daft. It can't, said the driver. But it could. It's rolling along our line. We'll stop here until Boulder passes by, said the driver. But Boulder was nowhere to be seen. Then, oh no, it's behind us.
Wait, what? How is that possible? Seriously now, I don't get the physics of this cartoon, people. And yes, the boulder chase is scary, but unlike Indiana Jones, that was epic. It had good music and had an awesome character who I knew could survive it. Because Indiana Jones is a hero. These trains, however... Okay, they're still the protagonist, but they're not that, capable as compared to a guy with an awesome hat and a whip. Anyways, guys, I'm Quant866, and have a good one.